Viewers, welcome back to the Personal Injury Show. It's that time of show with Kathy's Mailbag. Good evening, Kathy.
Good evening, Tony. Good, thank you. Good evening, John. Good evening, viewers.
Did you know you could sue in circumstances where you don't have serious injuries?
No, I didn't. You learn something new every night. But how good is Don on our show?
He's doing fantastic.
Really, really good and educating us all. So
He's Don.
We have to have him back. Absolutely. We haven't had that in a while. But I'm going to jump straight into the questions because we've got quite a few to get through tonight. Question 1 comes from Naomi in Essendon, and she writes, Dear Tony and John, I had a car accident in November 2010. I was the sole occupant of the car. The accident was solely caused by poorly maintained road. My car was written off and I constantly need to seek medical attention from the injuries I sustained from the accident. I would like to know if I am able to make a claim or if it has been too long. I have only recently required specialist treatment in which I cannot afford. John, how do we advise Naomi on this?
Naomi, you've got TAC, Transport Accident Entitlements. You should lodge a claim straight away with the Transport Accident Commission and with the Victoria Police. Hopefully they've already been notified as to the accident. Tony, the poorly maintained road aspect.
Yeah, you'd need the photos and videos and you'd want someone to investigate it. You might even get Vic Roads out there.
Oh, look, and maybe even complain to Vic Roads about this poorly maintained road.
Well, if it's that bad, if the road was in that bad a condition, you'd think that there'd been complaints already made about the road.
You'd think so. Naomi, you're entitled to medical-like expenses, loss of earning and loss of earning capacity benefits as to your work capacity, and there's an impairment benefits claim and maybe a common law damages claim if your injuries are serious. But you need to lodge the claim ASAP. You should seek legal advice from a transport accident expert.
Which you'll find in most personal injury law firms.
Exactly.
That's correct. Well, we hope that's helped, Naomi. Moving on to question 2 tonight, to the PI show. I was in 2 head-on accidents back in 2005 within 4 months of each other and believe that is why my back feels like it wants to give way a lot of the time. I never made a claim for compo back then because I never knew I could. My question is, have I waited too long? Am I able to make a claim? I was taken to hospital both times and both times the police were also involved. And this is from Maurice in Footscray. Now, look, pretty bad luck for Maurice. 2 head-on accidents in 2005 within 4 months. So it sounds pretty significant. What do you think, Tony?
I think it's problematic because under the Transport Accident Law, you've only got a year to lodge a claim and then you can lodge it within 3 years with the permission of the Transport Accident Commission. They can waive or give you an extension. But outside 3 years, you've got no rights unless you can show that the injuries have manifested themselves afterwards. But it sounds to me that the back was pretty bad straight after the accident. So you're not going to be able to show that there's been a manifestation of the injuries, you know, outside the 3 years to start with. So I personally think that Maurice has got some real problems there.
Tony, it is problematic. A claim, Tony's correct, within 1 year or within the 3-year period, and then you've got that manifestation exemption. What I would do is, look, try and lodge a TAC claim in any event, Tony, and then you get a response from the Transport Accident Commission and you should see a lawyer, well, before then and after.
A lot of it's going to depend on what medical treatment was given at the time.
Exactly.
And
but Tony, Maurice was admitted to hospital on both occasions, so again, it depending on also what injuries stemmed at the time from there.
It doesn't look promising, but, you know, get advice just in case, you never know.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you for writing in, Maurice. Moving on to the next question for tonight, to the PI show. I recently had a car accident and I was at fault during the accident. Do you think I can put in a claim even though it was my fault, as I do have a back injury which was caused by the accident? And this is from Dominic in Essendon North. This sounds like a no-fault benefit claim to me. John, what do you think?
Exactly, Kathy. The Transport Accident Act provides no-fault benefits for drivers such as yourself, Dominic, where the accident is your fault. However, I mean, first you've got to have a look, or you've got to see a lawyer to see whether or not that is actually the case. Because, Tony, you and I have seen over the years a lot of people where they think it was their fault, the transport accident.
And it's someone else's fault.
It's actually not. So
well, it could have been someone else that contributed to the accident.
Exactly. So just make sure about that. But secondly, again, you need to lodge a TAC claim. You're entitled to lots of earnings and lots of earning capacity benefits if you're unable to work or you've got limited work capacity. Also, you're entitled to medical and like expenses, and they basically continue for the life of the claim, don't they, Tony?
That's correct. The only thing I'd be saying in addition to that is, if Dominic was under the influence of alcohol or under the influence of some substance or drugs, there's a scale. Your loss of income benefits cut out at some point in time.
Yes.
And it might be reduced significantly.
Yes.
But you've got to look at it closely, because over 0.1, it cuts out to the tune of 50%, I think, give or take.
It depends on the circumstances,
Yeah.
but your benefits do reduce in that in those
Medical
type of
treatment
claims.
you get, but loss of earnings is a problem. So you do need to get advice.
Well, even with medical treatment as well, there's a threshold that you have to pay for first, unless you've been admitted into hospital.
It's about $550, give or take.
That's right.
And Dominic, you're entitled also to a permanent, to lodge a permanent impairment benefit for your injuries. Again, that's a no-fault benefit.
And it depends again on whether you're under the influence of alcohol
Exactly.
or drugs.
Exactly.
And look, quite frankly, when you think about it, it's probably a good thing that people are discouraged from, they're not going to be compensated in these circumstances, because you discourage people from irresponsible behaviour.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You should not be rewarded or receive compensation in such circumstances.
That's correct.
Well, Dominic, we ask that you seek legal advice, and thank you for writing in also. Now, I've got a very quick question, a last one from John. This comes from John from Preston. I was involved in a transport accident which was not my fault in May of this year. I was admitted to hospital for a week due to back and leg injuries. I haven't returned to work yet, and I am unsure as to what I should do with my claim. John, what do you say to John?
Well, John.
It's John to John.
John and Preston, you should have lodged a claim, and if you haven't lodged a claim, please do so ASAP with the Transport Accident Commission. Also report the accident to the police if it hasn't already been done so, and then you're entitled to various benefits. If you're not working because of these transport accident injuries, you're entitled to loss of earning benefits, and maybe thereafter loss of earning capacity benefits, Tony. Medical expenses, your impairment benefits, lump sum claims, they all flow from all of this.
John, can I just make a general comment? A lot of these questions we're getting are very scanty, and there's not a lot of information, so please, viewers, don't rely purely on what we say on air. You do need to get advice in nearly every case, because at the end of the day, if I was seeing one of these clients or one of these people that are sending questions, I'd want a lot more information on what we're getting.
But sometimes it also develops from when you actually speak to the client as well. So it's extremely important that you seek legal advice. Okay, well, it is that time of the show where we finished, but we did get some more questions done today, and thank you so much for writing in. Please keep writing in. Our email address is info@thepishow.com, and of course visit our website at www.thepishow.com. And yes, thank you very much for having me.
Kathy. Thanks, viewers. Stay safe, and don't forget, next week we're going to be doing biological diseases. Thank you.